Hello friends, welcome back to the Django tutorial. In the last video, we have seen that how to create a Django project and how to send a response from backend to the front end, that is from your Python code to the web browser. And today we would like to add an HTML page to display your output on that HTML page. So for that we need to create certain files into our project directory, and this is the project directory which we have created in the last video. But to make you more familiar with this code, I'll delete these directories again and we'll again start from the scratch, so all the concepts you will be revising and you will be more confident about writing the commands and the flow of your project. So let us delete this directory. So I'm deleting the project. So directly you can delete it, and the environment directory also you can delete. I just want to make you familiar with the all the commands which we are using to create our Django projects. So now we have an empty directory like a Django tutorial, and we want to create our first project. So open your terminal, and inside the terminal first of all you need to write a command for the environment variable. So we are in the Django tutorial directory, and here you need to create the environment variable. So you will write Python space hyphen m VENV, that is virtual environment, and name of your virtual environment. I am giving a name as my env, that is my environment. Hit the enter. You will find there is a directory, and inside that directory you will get these certain files, bin folder, and inside the bin you will find the activate file is there. So you want to activate that environment. So again you need to write another command, source space the name of directory, that is my env slash bin slash activate, and you can see that you have activated the virtual environment whose name is my environment. And now we want to create a Django project, so the command is django-admin space start project and name of your project. So we want to give a name to the project as my project. Hit the enter. You will find that it is asking you that Django admin is not found because I have not installed at the global level. So you need to install Django again. So how to install the Django? You have to write Python space hyphen m pip install Django, and you will see that it is installing the Django into your project directory. You may not need this to do again and again, but as we are doing it from the scratch, so I am showing you all the details. I'll clear the screen and you will try to create the project. So Django admin space start project without space, and then the name of your project, that is my project, and hit the enter. Now you will find that you have created a project, my project, and inside this my project there is a directory my project and manage.py. So you need to switch from this directory to the you are currently in the Django tutorial directory. You need to switch into the my project. So you will write cd, that is change directory, to my project, and here you need to start your server. So how will you start it? So the command is you need to write Python. You want to execute this manage.py space manage.py space run server, and sorry I misspelled it. So Python manage.py run server. So you are getting an IP, just click on it and you will see that you are successfully installed the project again. And if you are getting the warnings which you can see there, so you need to execute this command, that is Python manage.py and migrate. So press Ctrl C, execute that command, and you will be not getting those warning again and again. Now we want to create an HTML page into our directory. So I'll clear the command prompt again, and you will come to your project directory here, and inside the project directory my project, we have seen that urls.py is managing all your URLs, and views.py is a file which is handling all the operations related to your project. So you need to create that views.py. So right click on your project directory, internal project directory, create a new file whose name should be views.py, and inside this project you will be creating your function. Now here we have created one project, function dev. The function name, suppose I want to give as home, and here I'll return something. And in the last video we have written the HTTP response, but now we want to return an HTML page. Suppose, so whenever you call this home page, you want to call an HTML page which is present somewhere. So how to do that? So first of all, we need to import from http dot sorry django.http import http response, and here inside the function you will write an request, and you are sending a response as http response, and the message, suppose hello world. And to call this home through a particular URL, I want to call this function automatically whenever we are on the home page. So in the urls.py you manage that. So I'll deleting all these comments. Here inside the URL pattern you have called that views function whose name is home. So for that you need to import from dot import views, and here you will create an URL for that home page, that is path, and in the single quotes you will mention the name of your URL. So we want to call it as a home page, so you are not writing anything, comma, from where you are calling that function, that is in the views file there is a function called home, and put the comma. And this is how you call the home page home, and you are returning one message hello world. So we'll execute this much. So you need to write an command python space manage.py and run server. So you're getting an error because in the urls.py there is a spelling mistake. Instead of path it should be path, and now it is showing you an IP. So click on that IP and you are on the home page. Here you can see, and we are getting a hello world message, but it is not coming from an HTML page. We want to send that value through the HTML page, but we have not created any HTML page. Now here we need the help of MVT architecture. Remember in the very first lecture we have discussed about MVT architecture of Django. So let us take a look on that. So let us take a look. So here is a MVT architecture, and in the diagram you can see that URLs are managing all the views, and views will get the inputs from the template to send your response. So we need to create this template file which is handling your UI part. So let us create that. So here inside your project at the left hand side we need to create one directory which is containing all the templates. So I'll just make this minimized. So this is your project. The outer directory is a project directory, and this is your actual project along with the manage.py and SQLite database. So here along with this I want to create one more directory whose name should be template or anything you want, but standard way to define it as a template. So I'll just right click on it. I'll create a new folder and I'll name this as template. So what this folder means, it will create all the HTML files. So I'll just right click on it, create a new file, and inside that folder I want to create a file whose name is suppose index.html, and inside this HTML file we will writing our HTML code. So write your HTML code, and inside the body here in the h1 I'll write one message, this is first page of HTML in Django. Now we have an HTML page in the template folder and we want to call it. So from where you will call it? So obviously from the diagram you can easily understand that it should be called from the views, and here is our views.py. So inside our project directory you will find the views.py. From here you are sending the response, but now we don't want to send a response as a value, we want to send a response as a HTML page. So how will you do that? So what you need to do, inside the HTTP response you just need to remove this function, and here instead of sending a response you need to render your web page. So rendering means displaying all the contents of HTML into your browser. So you will write render, and here what you are rendering a request from which you have got it. So you will write request, this is the object you are passing again, comma, and the page which you want to render. So in the single quotes I'll render that page whose name is index.html. But now again this framework don't know that where is the index.html file, because we have a given a name to the directory as template. So index.html is a page which is present inside the template folder. So we need to add one more setting. So how will you do that? So just come to your project directory here, and you will find inside the project directory there is a file called setting.py. So come to this setting.py here and scroll down. Somewhere you will get and array, this is templates. So it is telling you that from where you are getting your templates. So I want to tell this framework that my templates are coming from the folder whose name is template. Okay, so here on the line number 57 you can see that there is a empty list, and here you need to add one line, that is os dot, you need to import the os package if you are not getting it, dot path dot join, and what to join inside the round brackets, the base directory. So you need to write base underscore dir, comma, the name of the folder which you have created for the HTML file. So inside the single quote mention the name of that folder, that is template, which you have created. Suppose you have given any other name, so that name should be there. Okay, and again you will find that it is let us run it again and we'll check the output. So I'll clear the screen and we'll try to run it again. So python space manage.py run server, and hit the enter, and you will find that it is giving you an error that OS is not accessible. So I need to import the package for OS. So what I need to write, so here at the top of this directory you will write import OS. So from this package you will get that OS and path.join directory, and now again clear and execute the command to run your server, and you will find that you are getting an IP. Click on that link, and here you will see that it is giving you an error, that is render error. So let us figure it out. Okay, so the render function is not available, so let us figure it out. Let us come to the code, and here it is telling us that render function is not available. So what we'll do, we'll just try to stop our server first and we'll run it again, and if it is not resolved then we'll check it for the other errors. So still it is showing that render method is not available, exception is name, render is not defined. So something is missing, we'll just check it. Okay, so basically it is not present in the default package. So here we need to identify from where it will come. So you need to import another package, that is from Django dot shortcut import render. Now you will be getting that package. Let us correct it, Django, and now you will be accessible for the render function. So let us do it again. So write python manage.py run server, and now are getting the same error that module is not present. Okay, it should be shortcuts, and let us check. Now again we'll stop the server, run it again, and click on the IP, and you can see that you are rendering the page which is index.html. So here inside the template folder we have a page index.html, and you are rendering it with the help of render function in the views.py, and this page is rendered onto your browser. And now we want to send a value to this page. So suppose the first page of HTML in Django, and I want to write some message into this, that suppose I want to write another h1, and we'll write welcome something, that I want to display my name here. So how will you do that? So for doing that you need to write something in the views.py here. So along with this index.html you want to send one value. So here as a third parameter you need to pass in the curly braces the name of the variable. Suppose I want to give a name variable name as my var, that is my variable, colon, and the value which I want to send. So here in the single quotes I'll send the value, suppose Yogesh. So what it means, whenever index.html page is rendered, along with this variable name you are sending this value. Now you want to receive this value where? In the index.html page, and you want to display somewhere. So I want to display in front of this welcome. So here you need to write two curly braces, and inside this curly brace you need to mention the variable name which you have written in the render function, that is myvar. So here you will write myvar. So welcome myvar, and what is the value inside the myvar? That is Yogesh. So let us come back and reload your page, and you are getting again an error. Let us check what that error is. It is telling us that myvar is not defined. So let us figure it out. Okay, let us come to the code again, and here we have made one mistake, that this myvar variable name should be also in single quote. So this is the variable name, and this is the value which you are sending to the HTML page and accessing through the variable name. So let us come back and reload our page, and you will see that we have a default message which is written inside the HTML page here directly, and welcome is also an HTML content, but the value at this place is displayed from the variable which is sending from the views.py. So I hope that all of you have got the idea how to use an HTML page, that is a template, in the Django. So we'll see you in the next video.